Welcome everyone, Monday meditation. We'll take a little journey through the Sacral Chakra. Just let the sound take you deeper. Breathing through the nose. Relaxing the brain. Preparing for meditation. Deanna's all wrapped up in her blanket, all cozy. It's cozy time. The sacral chakra essentially is cozy. You could say the heart is cozy, but second chakra is the water chakra, it's a female chakra. It's the realm of Varuna, the Indian god of rain. You could say Poseidon and Neptune. Kind of a Neptunian chakra. People get lost in fantasies. It's like a dreamtime world. Just breathing. It's understood that the first chakra is where the Kundalini goes to sleep. So when she's all coiled up and cozy, we're kind of in the material world, relatively unconscious of the spiritual world. That's the understanding. And as soon as the Kundalini begins to break into the second chakra, you could say that the journey into the self has begun, right? Because literally, Svadhisthana is the name of the chakra. It stands for the self, the domain, the realm of the self. It's this deep unconscious world. So when we first enter into this sort of oceanic experience of unconscious mind, semi-conscious mind, it can drown us. which is probably why most of the religions in the world begin this initiation with baptism, right? In other words, they basically drown you in water so you can get reborn and light up with the regenerative, with that kind of rebirth into the culture, rebirth into the religion. So we're just going to drop into this watery world. And just like the realm of desire, it's the realm of lushness and ambrosia, and it's ruled by taste. The Sanskrit word for that is rasa, right? It's the juice that we get out of everything. So this is the rasa chakra, right? This is where we relish reality in a sort of beautiful, watery expansiveness. It's a step above this earth realm of the money, of the root chakra. We're just into that watery domain. And then above that is the rising sun of the Manipura, where we manifest the city of jewels. But today, we're going to stay in Swadhisthana chakra. So initial meditation is just to feel the abundance of that watery world. You could say the healthy archetype is the emperor and the empress. It would be the material seed, power and lover of life of the Vishnu Lakshmi assembly. Right? Vishnu and Lakshmi, the sustainer, creator, the goddess of spiritual and material wealth, these vibrate more in the heart and above. But there is this seed, and you could say that initial part of you that just relishes reality, exists in this sort of water world. So in this moment, we're just going to drop in and get in touch with your inner empress, your inner emperor, the lord and lordess of pleasure. Give yourself permission just to feel great. Because the unhealthy version is the martyr. Person who's like, oh no, not me, always denying life in some way, rejecting life. And that kind of martyrdom resonates with lots of other people's pitiful pain, like, oh, you poor thing, right? It's that like, oh, you get this big reward from the resonance, but maybe not much more than that. So instead of this martyr archetype, which kind of overly ascetic, overly monastic, right? It's kind of harsh. I want to move more into the lushness of this chakra. Just feel the bliss. It's ruled by pleasure. So we're just allowing yourself that beautiful feeling, like, spirituality is not torture. Spirituality is ultimately not overly self-denying. It's aligning, balancing, but we're just going to drop in and have this experience. It's like of the bliss nature of your being. Here we go. Total silence. Just feel the deliciousness of the ambrosial stillness. I'll check in on your postings soon. I'm just feeling this, it's like the meditative energy is dropping in. It comes kind of like a giant lake, right? Absorbs you in its watery wonderfulness. I'm just getting absorbed into this dreamy, beautiful space that Hollywood makes billions of dollars on, right? The archetypes of the second chakra rule the world. Romance, sexuality, relationship, beauty, sensuality, worldliness, luxury. And this is all, upastha is the Sanskrit for this, getting the pleasure out of life. Sometimes meditation is associated with the opposite, right? Some kind of monastic rejection of life, when in fact, most spiritual beings of a higher variety that I've come across would say that you get more sensuous. You get more sensual as you become more spiritually expanded, right? You feel more. Your senses are enhanced. Right? You don't need the gross level of that pleasure either. Just the slightest nuance of it brings ecstasy, amazing feelings. You become this super sensitive antenna of all things blissful. So we're just becoming that super sensitive antenna of all things blissful. Breathing through the nose. Like we said last time, the olfactory bulb in the nose connects back to the third eye, which is detecting the earth element in the atmosphere, in the breathing, in the taste. Connects down to the first chakra, and it also, you could say, connects to your second chakra, because taste and smell are pretty much almost the same, right? Just slightly different. So we're just tasting. It's like you can almost smell abundance, right? When fragrances are beautiful, you just feel, wow, this is so great. Versus when you walk into a place where people are sick, it's just like, oh, what's that, right? You can literally smell the illness, the density of the particles. So we just want this spacious, beautiful feeling in the body. Meditation sort of opens up. The second chakra is like a sphere. It's like rounded like water. It flows. Female energy. Beautiful receptivity. And so the healing question would be, when you're meditating on this chakra, this, call it Martyr or Emperor, are you Lakshmi, or are you in pain? And so you could be both, but let's say just entering into the Lakshmi world, this love universe of beautiful, reflected, flowing feeling. It's a 6-petaled chakra. Vermilion is it's a kind of moon lotus. Because the actual, I didn't bring the mandala, but it's a water world with a crescent moon. And then the Vam deity, this little power of the syllable Vam, sits on the Makara. The Makara is a crocodile. You think, what's a crocodile doing in my second chakra? Well, evidently, when you drown in the great abyss, there's crocodiles, right? The reptilian brain is at the root of our consciousness, right? It anchors us. For millions of years, reptiles ruled, right? And their electromagnetic body was full of Kundalini. The Egyptians just loved crocodiles, right? They put them down at the bases of their temples because they had this root power energy, right? This reptilian Vum. And so as that reptilian zine comes up the body, it's like you, in a sense, you conquer the beast, right? The beast has its eyes above the water. It's just ready to grab you and engulf you and rebirth you, ultimately. So it's like, we could say, consumed by the beast, right? Let the water world swallow you up and then reanimate you. So it's like the phoenix, right? We rise out of the ashes into this Manipura chakra, this third chakra. But again, we're going to stay in the second one. Just going to feel the watery world. Let's keep this feeling. Water is a great element for meditation. Overly earthy people can feel stuck. Overly fiery people can feel too burning up. Air people can feel a little scattered. Water people can feel a little washed out. But let's say the beautiful balance of this second chakra. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nisprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinamadi Namastu Ma Vishabhahe Om Shanti 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 Om. So the root syllable is Vam, V-A-M or V-A-N-G. It's like that vibratory frequency moving up into the brain. This clears this chakra, purifies it. Bang. Bang. This chakra loves sound. Why? Probably because the lower agencies of our being, the reptilian core, responds to rhythmic pulse. It's like insects at night, right? They're all pulsing away. The dragonflies, the fireflies, the crickets, they're all buzzing. You feel this natural world pulse. Rhythmic entrainment is the way of this level. All the trees meditate, the plants are meditating, they're all emanating this deep frequency of the life force. There's a little technique. It's the B muja, Brahmara Gunjanam. It goes like this. You'll like this. You take your thumbs, you put them in your ears, and then you can cover your eyes. And then you could just do one finger on the nostril or both if you want. But what we're going to do is make a bee humming sound. Like, and when you cover up the ears and eyes and nose, your whole cranium will vibrate amazingly, right? It's like this, like a whole swarm of bees. Here we go. Oh, but you can push it higher up. Oh. And you can go Nuri. Just experiment. Great buzzing sounds. And already I'm feeling this effect. It's like, ooh, relaxes the brain, brings you into more rhythm entrainment. Feels really good. drops you into your heart. I'm just going to continue with the tambura, but that's the effect, right? We can do that when there's no tambura. You can take the M, the vibrating M, either NG or M with the dot, whatever works best for you to vibrate the bones of your skull, vibrate these higher centers. And it's all rooted in the first and second. Right? They connect up to your third eye, which encompasses the entire spine, and isolates it, vibrates it. And then it's like your inner antenna is much better aligned with the inner FM universe. There's AM, amness. And there's the feminine FM. All of it is just waiting for you to become absorbed. Let's just do that for the next few minutes. Divine and delicious absorption into the supreme I Am consciousness. So if the healthy version is to be like God, let's look at the unhealthy version that you might be running, so we can clear your inner martyr of resonating with continuous pain. Your inner martyr might just be your inner healer as well. But healers tend to be, when they're unhealthy, overly selfless, kind of give it all away without keeping the 51%, right? Without major shareholder status. Kind of gets a little leaky, tweaky, not good. So we want to give away 49%, keep 51. It's like we want to feel worthy. We want to be loved. So we'll give up our happiness for someone else's happiness, which it's good to do selfless acts, right? But we don't want to compromise ourselves completely, which leads to a whole different set of unhappy parameters. So being generous, loving, accommodating, and yet, as the Dalai Lama would say, be wisely selfish. Maintain this 51%, otherwise you get swallowed up by the makara. The crocodile will eat you alive and poof, gone. So maybe notice, where are you doing this? Where have you created unnecessary pain? It's become almost addiction cycle. Everybody knows poor me, right? We all do it. Poor me. Let's say wealthy you, getting younger you, emperor you, empress, the material Lakshmi, material Vishu. You know, I was noticing this Egyptian breath that Jonathan Goldstein teaches, that we've done before, this actually is Vishnu if you transpose it to the Indian system, and they often put an R at the end in the subjective Sanskrit case. So Vishnu is there, but curiously coming out of a sound meditation, getting the V sound in the back of the head, the V, you can feel it vibrate in occiput, and then the V that crosses over through the brain to the Z sound of the teeth, Vz, and then you shift into Nur, which in Arabic means queen. I believe in Egyptian it means light, N-U-R-R. And then you can add the E to sort of trail it. So the Vishnuri. It's an interesting one to work with. If you do it right, you get a little blue light that comes on. It's like a little pilot light. It goes, oh, you got this. I just saw the blue pearl in there when I did that. It's just saying, we're on track here, right? When the blue pearl shows up, usually means you're with a good person, right? The company you're keeping, i.e. you guys, must be good. Blue pearls have arrived. It is sort of like climbing a mountain there, right? You're going through different trails, through these resonant canyons of the brain and the bones. And when we vibrate those spaces, they heal up. Blocked and congested stuff moves, sinuses are liberated, the blood dedensifies, the lymphatics find a little motor power, calcium ion pumping. Breathing through the nose. Again, just let the passing of time, beautiful feeling in the heart, consciousness as a resonant, beautiful flowing fountain-like system. It's like you've pulled over in the cosmic gas station. Just filling up the chakras, each one with high octane, super fuel. You just bought a Tesla, did you? Just feel the power moving through the body as it spirals up, ascending current, the Kundalini going home, back to Shiva, rising up out of the great pumpkin patch, back to the cosmic center, back to the source of its origination, evolved and now is involuting back home. And we love the journey, painful as it is. We keep breathing again, right? We suck in another breath so we can be here longer. Because as painful as it is, we like it. Right? It's a pretty cool universe. Oh. It's almost like a little download to share a story. In 1990, I was in Ganeshpuri at Guru Maya's ashram, and we were doing a 30-day course on top of this hill. So meditation went on. We got up at 2:30 every morning and did these chakra journeys, did all sorts of things. And at one point, I've been meditating for about an hour. And sometimes the interesting experiences come and grab you right when you think maybe you're not meditating and you're coming out of meditation, or you're distracted enough to get grabbed. And I was suddenly realizing, oh, I'm kind of woozy from this meditation. I put my head down on the ground in front of me, and all of a sudden it was as if I was still sitting up, and there was this flash of light that came from what was ostensibly a window to my right. And I was holding a chanting page with mantras. And there's this huge flash, like an atomic bomb went off. But there was no sound whatsoever. And I'm holding this paper, and then all of a sudden, as if the paper itself caught fire. It grew from the center out like a giant hole, just disappeared the paper. Poof. All the words caught fire. It's like the mantra sort of exploded into something, and then that explosion that was silent on the outside suddenly went boom in my third eye. And then for the rest of that retreat, it was just this amazing buzzing, awakening, aware feeling. It was vibrating there. And then, since then I sort of settled down, ultimately became a professional intuitive. But it's not that I feel that glow like I did when it initially woke up or initially did its thing. But I could testify that the intuitive unfoldment that comes from that is phenomenal, right? We all want to go there. You want to activate this pineal energetic, right? And it's rooted in these first two chakras. It's like to open this up right, evidently, you have to be really grounded at the bottom, right? Otherwise you'll fly away. So there's also an understanding that your astral body is linked in to the second chakra, right? Just above the base, it's kind of like your kite string anchors, and the noble gases of krypton, xenon, and radon govern the bottom three. So that you could say xenon rules the second chakra. It's the noble gas at the core. And krypton. It's just above it. It's not quite what you want to plug into, the krypton. Plug into the xenon, however they pronounce it. I'm just going to feel that. So you're anchoring the subtle energy body better at the base. So you don't go flying off somewhere and get lost. It's like securing your camel, right? It's like trust in Allah, but tie up your camel kind of thing here. So just securing, it's like the balloon of the top. The wool gas of the brain is ruled by helium. It's kind of like a balloon. There's hydrogen, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. We'll just take a minute, just while we invoke those, we're just basking in the glow of these atomic elements. Most of this work is subtle energy body work we're doing. You can go to the gym or the yoga classes for the rest, but you don't always get this at the gym, for certainly or not, and maybe at the yoga classes, depends on the teachers, right? What they're talking about, where they're traveling with you. But generally yoga classes are so focused on the hatha yoga with the physical postures that you don't always get the inner journey like this. So we like to do this chakra work, anchoring the subtle energy body, which in America is highly neglected, right? Although you could say now millennials and yoga practitioners have leapt into the fray of, hey, look, there's a subtle energy body, we can clean it up, right? Just like take care of your physical body. This is maybe even more important. So where earlier we were noticing, where are you victimizing yourself somehow or being the martyr? Martyrs like suffering more than victims. It's like martyrdom is like feeding on the suffering, whereas victims could opt out, right? It's like, oh, enough of this, right? So it's trickier to work with this chakra than the first in certain ways. Because everyone gets victimized, but not everyone's a martyr. So we're going to go to the opposite of that. Let's go again to the Emperor, Empress archetype. That part of you which loves luxury, feeds you, gives you all the goodies. Let's check in with that part. All right. This part might be pushed away sometimes if you think, oh, I'm just greedy and gluttonous. But in fact, we're needy and I don't know what rhymes with gluttonous, but we can arc into this kingdom, right? You can bring heaven into this earth. It's like an excuse to be in bliss. Have permission from the universe. You don't have to torture yourself. Saraswati is the goddess of flow. Hear the hermit thrush singing out the morn. He's so grateful for the daylight. the egret flying through the sky, winging her way home through the twilight. Soft moonlight, Sarasvati. See the orange crab looking back at her, clinging to the rock as he's gliding. See the orange cloud looking back at her, drifting sideways in the twilight. The wisdom of Mother Nature. See the egret flying through the sky, winging her way home through the twilight. See the orange crab looking back at her, clinging to the rock as it's dying. Soft moonlight, Sarasvati. It was written by, it's like a hobbit kind of guy I met on Maui in 1979. I always tried to track him down. I never could find him. I don't know if he's still on the planet, but he used to write these beautiful songs, and who knows? I don't think he ever recorded them. I can't find any trace of them, but that's the beauty. And then along those lines, I took a Kipling poem once, The White Seal's Lullaby, and it has kind of a similar, I'm just noticing that it has kind of a similar melody, or a similar chord progression. Hush thee, my baby, the night is behind us. Black are the waters that sparkle so green. The moon o'er the combers looks downwards to find us, asleep in the hollows that rustle between. Where billow meets billow, soft be thy pillow, weary wave flippering, curl at thy ease. The storm shall not wake thee, shark overtake thee, asleep in the arms of the slow spinning sea. Hush thee, my baby, the night is behind us, and black are the waters that sparkle so green. The moon o'er the combers looks downwards to find us, asleep in the arms of the slow spinning sea. Night is behind us. Black are the waters that sparkle so green. Just feel the sensitization of your body, all the beautiful feelings, and all the tissue, the organs, the glands. Just going into this like gratitude space of just, oh, thank you God, thank you universe, thank you liver, gallbladder, thank you kidneys, thank you heart, lungs, thank you organs. It's that beautiful feeling of, oh, here we are, alive. So, I recognize this. Here comes the vision slowly, rising up gently she comes, grooving up holy, she's a soulful medley, her love's soft like a breeze. God is gracious, woo me, she just do what she please. My mind is empty and my soul is on fire and my body's aching with divine desire. She said, I know you, and you know me, and one thing I can tell you is you've got to be free. Come together right now. She moves within me, she's the Kundalini, she's like Saraswati, Durga, and Rukmini. She says, one and one, and you're one with me. Shri Shri Lakshmi, Kula Kundalini, come together right now. Over me. Here comes the vision slowly, rising up gently she comes, grooving up holy, she's a soul It's like the Kundalini is calling in. Just feel that joy rising up. Love is calling. Love is always calling. Okay. I see trees of green, red roses too, and I see them bloom for me and for you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed day, dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Color of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, is also on the faces of the people going by. See friends shaking hands, saying how do you do. What they're saying is I love you. I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Wonderful world. Thanks everyone for coming tonight. I hope you're safely and deeply ensconced in your deepness, and that it bears fruit for you tonight and the next few days. We have Jupiter moving into Pisces. That's awesome, right? That's this guru planet. That's this beneficence and expansion moving into a water universe, right? So you could say your second chakra, water energy, is going to be enhanced by the supreme guru of the universe, right? Jovial Jupiter is coming in. And we've got Venus and Mercury lining up in certain ways, so there's going to be a lot of love flowing. We've got Uranus, the planet's like busting up Taurus a little bit. So things that have been stuck for a while and overly earthy stuckness will be boomba, right? So just allow the Kundalini to awaken. We're going to do this journey every few days through the chakras. We did the root chakra the other day. We did the sacral chakra today. We're going to do Manipura on Thursday. That's the solar plexus. And then we'll move into the heart on Monday. Rock and roll. Namaste. Stay safe. See you soon. I love you.